It's Friday night and it's time for Around the Table. Thank you so much for coming tonight and sitting with me. As usual on Friday night, I am always super excited to come and sit around the table. So come on, grab some water, some tea, whatever it is that you may want to sip on for the next 40 minutes and join me around the table. I am your host, Vision Coach Alicia. And tonight, guess what? We're just 2 days away from a new year. I hope that you all have enjoyed your holiday season, your Christmas season, and you are ready for 2024. But still, don't jump there yet because there's still a few days in 2023 for you to be able to do some of the things you still want to do. And so tonight, I have a guest, as always, and always excited to sit around the table and chat with someone. So you can join the conversation by joining our comments and speaking back to us and with us. You are sitting where this is a place for authors, coaches, speakers, women entrepreneurs, small business owners, and men who want to talk about their books and ventures. And so I want you tonight to join me, share this out. Let me check my monitor, make sure that we are loud and clear and that everything is well. There we go. It's up. It's running. All is well. Good evening, Sonika. Thank you for joining us. Let me check. Make sure that all systems are go because I have a great guest tonight and I am excited to bring her up tonight. So let's, with no further ado, let me bring up my guest for tonight. Um, this guest is from the Virgin Islands, but guess what? The British Virgin Islands. And so I want to bring her in with me, and here she is. Good evening. Good evening. How are you tonight?
Hi, Apostle. Good evening. I am doing good.
Great. Thank you so much for joining me and coming and sitting around the table with me. Would you just tell our audience who you are?
All right. My name is Viana Thomas, and you can call me V for short because some persons have issues pronouncing my name, so V can work fine. I am originally from St. Vincent, but I have been living in Tortola, BVI for the past 16 years, and I'm a quiet, easygoing person. I'm a pastor, I'm a speaker, and now I'm an author and so many other titles.
You are an author, and I am so excited. That's why you are here with me tonight because over the weekend you had a book signing. I was just looking at everything that was displayed. It was so well done, everything good, done in great taste. And I said, oh, that is my guest next week, and I cannot wait to bring her on. So we're going to get right in it. Is this your first book that you have done?
Yes, this is my first book.
So you are a first time author. Congratulations. Once you begin, it is going to be hard to stop.
Wow.
I am going to launch my ninth book on New Year's Day
Wow.
because once you start doing a book and writing, you get excited about it and you realize you're sharing information and that there are people who actually want to hear what you have to say. And so you keep on writing. So the name of your book is Rebooting Your Year, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Rebooting Your Year. So tell us a little bit about Rebooting Your Year.
Okay, so the book was actually conceived during the pandemic in 2020. The As you know, we went through the whole phase where everything was shut down, and the book was actually developed from a sermon. So when we got the green light to go back into our sanctuary to have church services, it was in May 2020, and I preached a sermon at my local church entitled "Rebooting Your Year," and basically I wanted to just encourage persons. The new year started. We were all so excited. It was the beginning of a new decade as well, and we had so many hopes and dreams and expectations, and then in the midst of everything, the COVID-19 pandemic came, and just threw us, off our guard. And so I preached that sermon at my local church, encouraging persons, let's start again, let's dream again, everything is shut down for a while. And it's similar, as you realize, rebooting is a computer term. So just like a computer or a tablet or any other device, every now and again, we have to shut them down and then start them again. We have to go through this rebooting process. So that's how the whole title came about for the book.
Oh, that's interesting. Through a church term, yes, I know that pandemic gave a lot of us different avenues and different areas in our lives where we had to reboot
Yes.
because there was so much that was going on during that time. And so, how many chapters are in your book? Is it an easy read? How many chapters do you have in your book?
Yeah. There are 5 chapters.
Five
And
chapters.
yes, at the end, I provided also a plan, a guide you can use to go through the rebooting journey.
Okay, awesome. And so, where's your book available?
And for now, it is available from me. In Tortola, I'm going to work on getting it into some of the local stores, but
Hmm.
also you can purchase it on Amazon, on Barnes and Noble, and Kobo and other book outlets. You can get the hard copy, and you can
Okay.
get the book version as well.
Okay, so right now you have distribution on Amazon, on Barnes and Noble. Where else?
Kobo,
Kobo. Okay.
yeah,
So listen, you can go very easily and get this book. First stop, most of us make is Amazon. So definitely go there. Barnes and Noble as well. How much is the book?
the hard copy is 13.99 plus
Uh-huh.
yeah, shipping and handling. And if you're buying it in the US, you have to pay a small tax as well. And
Yes.
the book version, it's normally 3.99. However, it can go on sale for 2.99 and so on.
Okay, listen, my guest tonight hails from the British Virgin Islands. She is from Tortola. That's why she's saying to you, if you're in the US, because the BVI is the British Virgin Island. All hail the Queen. So it's a little bit different, and that's why it's great that she has them available on these outlets that you can go and get them. So okay, so if you gave us a definition of rebooting. So if someone picks up your book, what is it exactly that they are going to learn after they've read your book?
Okay, they're going to be encouraged and empowered. And the book is basically for everyone. However, it's specifically for persons who have went through a rough patch in their life.
Mm,
Persons who have encountered struggles and hardships and delays, and you need that word of encouragement to get you energized and excited again, for you to pick up, whatever it is and start again. So you're going to get that push when you read the book. You're going to get that empowerment that you need to try again, dream again, start again. And
come on.
I make reference in the book, just like a device where every now and again new updates are installed, or downloaded rather. New updates are downloaded. And I know that the Lord has downloaded a lot of things on the inside of us. He has given us, books and maybe a song or a movie, or, a ministry, a business idea. So many things the Lord has downloaded on the inside of us. And after reading this book, you're going to get the drive that you need to go after that thing that has been downloaded in your spirit.
That is so good. That is how you reboot. And you know, when we think about books, we know that God wants us to write books because He wrote through 40 Men, one
Yes.
of the most inspirational books ever, the bestseller of all times, the Bible. And so we know that God wants us to write. He wants us to share our ideas. He wants us to share with others through our writing. And as a first time author, when you when you decided to write this book, what were some of the steps that you took in writing your book? What did you do? Because
Okay.
sometimes something is a concept in our mind,
Yes.
and unless we start to really put the pieces together to make it come to pass, it remains a concept. So, what
Yes.
did you do?
Okay. To answer that question, let me go back a little because I initially published the book. I self-published it back in 2020 on the 4th of September for my birthday. After I developed it from the sermon. But then persons were asking for hard copy and so on, and I was trying to get it printed locally, but it was very expensive. And so I decided to go through a proper process where I found a publisher. So that was, one of the first steps that I did. I actually spoke with a couple of my friends who are published authors, and I tried to find out which publishing company they use. And, I did my research and my inquiry. And then eventually I stumbled upon Westboro Press, which is a division of Thomas Nelson and Zondervan. And, I did my research with them. I went online and everything. And then even the whole publishing journey, I went through the journey for over a year, going through the different stages, getting the manuscript together. Initially, they told me I needed more pages in the book, for it to be considered a book to print. So I had to go and write a few more pages and add in a few things here and there. And then, submitting the manuscript and getting it edited and, going through stage after stage after stage.
Yeah, that is good. See, one of the words that you kept using is that you've done your research. One of the things that I do is that I am a book coach and I help people put their books together. And a lot of times people just want to write a book, but they don't do the research of the process of what it actually will take to
Yeah.
get a book done. Like as I said, I think I'm going on my eighth or my ninth book. And when I first started, I went through the process that you went through. And after learning the process, I am now able to do my own books. And so whenever I'm ready to write, I know how to begin. And a lot of times, as a book coach, I often tell people first know what it is you want the end of the book to be. What is it that you really want the person to know at the end? That way you can develop the chapters that will lead to the end of the book. So that's so interesting. Listen, you are sitting around the table with me and my guest, Pastor Vienna Thomas. I am Vision Coach Alicia George, and I am so excited because I get to expose authors. I get them to come to the table, sit around, and you get to buy their books. Let's see, Pastor Vienna, what our audience is saying today. Let's go to some of the comments. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us, Yvette Martin. I know her. I know she is in the British Virgin Islands where you are as well.
Yeah.
And I see Coach Sanika is also on here. I see about 8 or 9 people, but I'm not they probably not commenting. So I just want to say welcome to Around the Table. Thank you so much for joining us and being here with us tonight as we have this conversation about this book, Rebooting Your Year. Once again, my guest tonight is author Pastor Viana Thomas. She is a first-time author, and this book was birthed out of in her spirit out of a sermon that she did, and it was during the time of the pandemic. And during that time, so many of us went through so many things, and one of the things that she just expressed is that she wants people to know that they can always press that button like your computer, reboot, start again. If you get a little tired, if you get a little weary, just give yourself some extra power by pushing that button and starting all over again. Le-
Mhm.
Um, do you by any chance have a copy of the book with you where we could show it?
I
Yes, there we go. There we go. Yes. What about the back?
is the back.
Great. That's a beautiful picture of you on the back. And you said it's an easy read because it's just five chapters. So is that paperback or is that a hardcover?
It's paperback.
It is a paperback book. Listen, I want you all to know as you begin the new year, those of you who have not been um reading, start reading. Start looking for books that you can download and listen to, books that you can purchase on Amazon or from someone's website and start reading, because 2024 we're going to need to be informed of so many different things. We're going to need to be refreshed and kept alive. And that is what books like these will do for us, because this book can can redefine your entire year. Get it now and start in 2024 to reboot your year. Make it personal. Reboot your year. 2024 is going to be a year that you're going to need to focus. And a lot of times, I'm reading two books right now together because I want to start reading more. And so I'm reading two different books at the same time, and I'm able to manage it. The more we start to read, the more we start to support our authors that are out there. This book is only $13.99. It's available on Amazon. It's available on Barnes and Noble. So go ahead and support my guest tonight, first time author, Pastor Viana Thomas. And I'm so excited. Yeah, I get excited because I love to see people doing what they are called to do. And definitely you are about your father's business right now. So tell me this. How do you view yourself now that you have the title of an author attached to all the other things that you do?
Well, I'm still trying to, wrap my head around everything. And this is something that I wanted for a very long time. And this
Mm,
book was actually not supposed to be my first book, because I actually started to write another book years ago, which is like on my life journey, my life story. And that book is still in progress. So that was supposed to be my first book, actually, but the Lord had different plans. So being an author is something I wanted to do for a very long time, and now that it has happened, I feel a sense of accomplishment. I'm thankful that I stuck through the journey. As I mentioned, it has been a process that I went through for over a year, going through the different stages with the publisher and everything. I'm thankful for all the different lessons that I've learned, and I feel that I went through all of that, that someday I might be able to help someone else. I don't know if I'll get to the book coach level like you, Apostle, but just a few days ago, I was speaking to a sister, and she was saying, the Lord gave me a book, and now that I saw you publish your book, I feel a sense of, encouragement that I really need to start working on mine. So other persons are being encouraged in the process, and I'm hoping that I can get to share some of the lessons that I've learned along the way with persons. But I feel very accomplished that I've accomplished that goal.
that's great. That's a good word. And see, that's what happens once. See, that's why we have to understand that people are always watching us. And now that someone have seen you step to that level, you have produced your book, they are now inspired to
Yeah.
want to go ahead and do their book. Listen, in the chat right now, there is a link where you can tap on it and you can go directly to Amazon and get her book. Thank you so much, Sanika, for putting that in there. There is a link that will lead you directly to Amazon. It's in the comments in the chat. If you want to get this book tonight, this is one of the ways that you could support our author tonight and get the book, because all of us at some point in our lives need to slow down. We need to get rebooted. Things happen in our lives that slows us down, throws us off track, sometimes even discouragement. And when you read a book such as this, it will help you to regain that vision, regain that strength, and be able to go to the next level in whatever you're doing. Okay, I want to talk to you about something else because I've noticed, see, you never know who's watching you. And I noticed, I think it was back in October, I noticed that you were doing some workshops and some classes. Would you tell us a little bit about some of the other things that you do as an entrepreneur?
Okay. Yes. So, as I mentioned before, I'm a pastor actually. And outside of that, I have a ministry that is called Vienna Thomas Ministries. And if you want to class it within the fivefold, it's actually a teaching ministry, a ministry that teaches and equips persons with, content, tools, resources, and so on. So under that ministry, I do a lot of different things. I do Bible studies, devotions, and as you mentioned, I do leadership training. So I started the leadership training, I think it was back in 2018. It was shortly after Armor. And then after I put it on hold a while, and it was during the pandemic in 2020 that I restarted the workshop, and the Lord gave me a new strategy. He said, every quarter, once a quarter, I want you to teach persons on Zoom and don't charge anything, and I make it open to anyone. If you're a leader in the church, you're a pastor, you're a minister, a lay worker, just a regular person who is interested, or maybe you're a business owner, a supervisor, you work in a government department, I make it open to anyone who is a leader. And some of the workshops I would teach them, and some of the workshops I will bring in special guests to do the presentation. So the last one was in October, and the next one is scheduled for February.
That's awesome. Well, listen, thank you so much, Dr. Josephine Harris, for joining us tonight on Around the Table. I am sitting here with my guest, first time author, Pastor Vienna Thomas, and we are talking about her books and the other things that she does. And so she just told us, as a pastor, she has a leadership workshop that she does on Zoom, absolutely free, that you could come in and just sit and glean and learn. And so I want you also, can you tell them how to get in touch with you, an email address or a website that you may have that they can get on and look at the things that you do have to offer?
Yes, the website is viannathomas.com. It's VE-ANNA Thomas.com. And that's the one stop shop for everything that I do. You will find all the information there on all the different programs that I offer. Outside of that, I share information on my social media pages. You can follow me on Facebook, on Instagram at Pastor V, and also I have a WhatsApp group. It's an announcements group, so there's not too much messages going on, where I share updates as well on WhatsApp. So you can follow me on those mediums, and the email address that I use for the ministry is Vienna Thomas Ministries at gmail.com.
Awesome. That's going to be in the chat, and your website is going to be in the chat. Darlene, thank you so much for joining us. Jeannie, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are excited as I sit here around the table and just have this conversation, because there are new people coming on the scene that are some people that you'll never know about if we don't expose them, such as Pastor Vienna. And I go on people pages. I look on people pages to see what they're doing, the ones that are not doing anything, because there's some people on there that's just not doing anything. I just stroll right by. But those that pique my interest, I stop, I look, I share, and I try to engage. And so tonight, let's talk a little bit about leadership. You said one of the things that you do is teach leadership, and then we'll get back to your book. When
Okay.
you are teaching on leadership and it's across the board leadership, in your definition, who is a leader?
Well, basically, I have several different definitions of that, but a leader, as John Maxwell would say, is someone who guides persons, who um, teaches and train and recruit other persons, you know, in different areas. We have leaders in the church, leaders in the business. So you have to make sure that you are taking care of the followers. I don't have an exact term, exact definition, but leaders are persons who basically leads the organization, the one who is in charge, the one who makes the decisions, the one who ensures that things are in place, and the one who raises up other leaders as well, and so forth.
Well, I'm going to ask you a tricky question. Are leaders born or are they made?
It can be both. Some persons believe that they were born with that natural ability to lead. However, I believe that one must not stay there. You have to take the time to do your training, and you have to attend do courses, attend workshops. You have to build on what you have. So yes, you can say I was born to lead, but don't stay there. I always encourage my leaders to take it to another level. Just today I sent out an email to my mailing list, and I said, let's take our leadership to another level in 2024. So we are living in a day and age. Back then, maybe 2 or 3 decades ago, persons would say, I have arrived. I went to school, I did, my bachelor's or my master's and whatever, and I've arrived. But we have people who went on further to become doctors, and people who went back and did other degrees and other certifications and so on. So you never arrive. There is always more to learn.
Yes,
There's always more for you to know. So don't you ever stop learning. The day you stop learning, the day you stop growing. Because leadership is a journey.
yes, that is so true. Listen, you are sitting and having a conversation with me and my guest, Pastor Viana Thomas. I am Vision Coach Alicia, and every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am here with a very special guest. They're either a writer, an author, a speaker, a business entrepreneur, small business owner. Come on in and sit with us on Friday night and check out what is happening. Get yourself a cup of tea. Some of you like a little bit of wine if that's what you want. Get that coffee or whatever. Right about now, I can use a cup of Starbucks, but it's not happening. So I'm drinking my water from the bottle tonight. But I am always excited on Friday nights because my guests are always so informative. Listen, I want to let you know that the month of February is going to be Ontology and Collaboration Month. If you have written an ontology or collaboration with some other authors, this is the month that you can come on the show. Up to at least 5 of you from the book can come. So if you are interested, there is the email address bosscoachingbusiness@gmail.com, and my assistant will get back to you and let you know what date is available in February. I think February the first uh yeah, the first Friday in February is already booked, so the others are available. I would love to have you come and sit around the table and talk about your anthology, your collaboration with me. So get together with those that wrote the book with you, 4 or 5 of you, and come on and sit around the table and tell us about the anthology that you wrote. So, listen, let's talk about this. With your book, Rebooting Your Year, what is your expectations for 2024? What is it that you believe that you need to reboot in 2024, if anything? Have you thought about that? I have thought about I need to reboot my speaking engagements. That is the one area that I am looking to reboot. I'm looking to expand. I'm looking to become better at it. I'm looking to book more speaking engagements outside of the church as well. And so that is the one thing that I want to reboot, because I've been telling people no, no, I don't want to, but now I've made a decision. I'm going to get back into that public speaking arena. And it's simply because, I relocated to the Virgin Islands, and sometimes it's really hard flying from the Virgin Islands all over the place. And so I haven't been doing a whole lot of it, but more and more I'm getting stuff in my inbox, people asking me, and so I am going to reboot my speaking career. So, Pastor V, what do you think you're going to reboot in 2024?
I am rebooting my ministry. Actually, Vienna Thomas Ministries has been going through a rebooting process because now that the ministry is a registered nonprofit organization in the BVI, there's so many things that needs to get done. So I'm going through that whole rebooting process of everything. I've rebranded. I have a new logo and everything. Yes, and a lot of the things that I did in the past were free, but now I'm moving into, charging small fees for different things. And, not necessarily because, I need the money, but because ministry and all the work and time and effort and everything that you have to put in, and purchasing stuff, I've been digging deep in my pockets to get certain things done, so going through that whole rebooting process. So yeah, I remembered when I had the launch for the ministry earlier this year, the team was prepared for takeoff, and since then the ministry has been taken off. My radio program started back in April, and other things have been, I'm starting short courses, 6 to 8 weeks courses in January, as well. So other things are taking off. So, the ministry is going through the whole rebooting process.
So tell us a little bit about your radio program.
Okay, so it's something, another thing I wanted to do for several years, but the time came this year. Everything has to happen at the Lord's own appointed time, and so it's on Zerod 103.7 FM, and it's every Sunday at 8:15 to 8:30 a.m. It's just a short 15-minute program, and it is called Feed Your Faith. So, just occasionally I might share a word of encouragement, or I would share, little snippets from my sermons. Every time I preach, I try to tape my sermons. So, I would share some information from them as from that as well. So that's the radio program, and I'm believing God by faith that I would get on other radio stations as time go by. But for now, I'm only on one radio station locally.
That is awesome. Listen, you are listening to my guest, Pastor Vienna Thomas, first time author of the book Rebooting Your Year. And we're just talking about the many things that she's doing. She's very multifaceted. And so I just want to invite you to go to Amazon and get her book. I want you to, how are you listed on Facebook? So that if someone wants to find you on Facebook, how will they find you on Facebook?
Okay, I actually have two pages. My personal page is Vienna Thomas, and then my ministry page is Pastor Vienna Thomas. So you
Okay.
can, find me on both.
Awesome. Awesome. So listen, I want you all to know that whenever you come on this show, or whoever comes on this show, that means that I endorse them. I will not bring anyone on the show that I do not endorse. And so if I am saying to you, it is okay to go on her Facebook page, it's okay to go on her Facebook page and check it out. You can send a friend request if you'd like. You don't have to, but just go and check her out, see the things that she's doing. She is actually in the British Virgin Islands. I believe in the Caribbean. I am stretching myself to the Caribbean. Other I am looking right now for other guests from other Caribbean islands. So if any of you are from any other Caribbean islands and you're in business, if you or have written a book, you can be a guest on Around the Table. So let's come on. There's places like St. Kitts, Antigua, Virgin Gorda, um, just the Caribbean. So listen, my friends, even that are over in St. Croix, if you have written a book, come on and sit around the table. If you have a business, come on and sit around the table. I want to introduce you to my listening audience and give you the exposure, the visibility that you may need. Again, I'm Vision Coach Alicia, and I'm always here every Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
You said that you were originally from another island and you have been living in Tortola for 16 years?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. So how is it different living in Tortola from the island that you're originally from?
Okay, it's different. I'm originally from Saint Vincent, which is a bit lower, yeah, down in the Caribbean. That's close by Barbados, Grenada, Saint Lucia in that area. So it's different because initially I moved here to Tortola too for work purposes. You know, after I finished school and college back home in Saint Vincent, I moved here to work. You know, and I had to adapt to the whole lifestyle and everything. Um, the I did have my own transportation when I came here, so there's a slang that says "catch a ride." You know, you go out and you just you put
Yes,
out your hand and you catch a ride. Because some areas, the area where I lived initially, you know, taxis and so on hardly, you know, the regular bus would hardly go there. So I had to adapt to that. The currency is different. In St. Vincent, we use the ICI dollar. In Tortola, we use the US dollar, you know, and I had to, you know, just adjust to a lot of things. When I worked back in St. Vincent, I started working at 8 a.m. I would work from 8 to 4, but in Tortola, I work from 9 to 5.
mm,
It was a lot of adjusting. Um,
yes,
I grew up in the church. That's one thing that kept me grounded. I grew up in the church, and when I came to Tortola, I continued with that. You know, continued attending the church, and as the years rolled by, I, you know, got more active in the local church. You know, that's one thing that kept me grounded in the whole transition.
yeah. You know that's interesting to me because I really am enjoying learning about different Caribbean islands that they produce great fruit. And when we're thinking that they're isolated, they're actually living similar lifestyles that we are living, yet different lifestyles. Thank you so much for joining us, Pastor Verna. I see you on there tonight. We are excited that you chose to come in and join us tonight. We are discussing Reboot Your Year with author Pastor Viana Thomas. Her new book just launched this weekend, and we would like you to think about what you need to reboot in 2024. So, if you need a guide, if you need some help in that process, her book is now available. It's available. Tell them again where it's available.
It's available on Amazon, on Barnes and Noble, on Kobo, and other outlets. You know, and also it's available locally from me, so you can contact me to get your copy. And the good thing is, when you get it from me, I autograph it as well. So,
That is awesome. Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Then
People
after the new year, it I will work on getting it on in some of the stores locally.
Yeah, people love autographs, so that is good. Well, what would be the last thing that you would like to encourage or say to our listening audience before we leave tonight in the process of what you have done with writing your book? Again, congratulations. I am excited for you. whenever someone steps out in faith and take the time to do the research such as you had to make sure that and ensure that you put a good product out on the market, because a lot of times we do things quickly, but you said you took a year to research, to do everything that needed to be done. And just to see you this weekend, as I looked at your pictures and the stuff that came across from you, were having fun, people were having fun with you. That is the reward of your labor of waiting. And I want you to be successful in it. And I cannot wait until you write your other book so that you could come on back around the table with us. And I am just so excited that we were able to sit here tonight and just talk. So tell what is it that you would like our audience to know before we leave here tonight?
Okay. Well, firstly, Apostle, I want to thank you for having me around the table. I really enjoyed, the time here with you. And I want to encourage persons, there comes a point in time where you need to reboot. It might be your life, it might be your ministry, it might be your business, you know, um, and just like a computer or a laptop or a tablet or any other device, every now and again we have to get rid of the old data, and the new updates, has been downloaded. But in order for the new updates to be fully installed, you must reboot. You can't just shut it down and put it aside. You have to reboot so that the new updates can be installed. And once they are installed, it's an improvement to what was there before. It's better, So I want to encourage you to go through that rebooting process. We have all been through some hardships in our lives. We have, been through setbacks and delays and challenges, but don't let those things keep you down. Reboot, get back on track, live again, dream again, smile again. As I mentioned, the Lord has downloaded so many things in your spirit. I know I get a lot of downloads, and I would just write them down. Whatever that the Lord has downloaded in your spirit, go after it in 2024. It's a year for more. So go after it. It might be a business, it might be a ministry, it might be a book, maybe a CD, a song, whatever it is, you want to do, go after it.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sandra Pelton Sam, for joining us tonight. Thank you so much, Pastor Verna, for joining us. Darlene, we appreciate you staying on for the entire. And Yvette, thank you so much. I am so grateful to those of you that support this show week in and week out. Once again, I am your vision coach, Apostle Dr. Alicia George, and every Friday night I am here with a special guest. And tonight, my guest was special, is special. Pastor, first time author, Vienna Thomas. And so I just want to say thank you so much for taking your time out and coming and being here with us tonight. So listen, until next Friday, when I come back with another special guest, go to her website, check out her email, go to Barnes and Noble and Amazon and support the author. If you want a signed copy, inbox her or email her and you can have your own copy. So until next week, around the table, come on in and invite someone else to come with you. God bless.